Hello everybody, and welcome to day 3 of renting a mini excavator for a week. Let me show you what we got going on today. So we've got the John Deere 26G here on the trailer, and what we're going to be working on today is we got to clear all of this back overgrowth on this piece of property here. It doesn't go very far back, as you'll see once I start clearing it, but it is pretty wide because this is actually 2 lots that are kind of being merged into one. So what we're going to be doing here, we've already got a little bit of brush piled up here and way over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this brush pile pulled back here to where this patch of sand is, because there's no tree canopy above it, and right now there's a little bit of a canopy above this pile. And we're just going to clear everything and drag it back to here, which is why this job is going to take 2 days, because I only have one machine and it's an excavator, which isn't great for shuttling material. I would like to either have the pile more central, but obviously central isn't an option because we've got this row of trees in the middle, or have one on either side. But the problem over here on this side is we got a whole lot of tree canopy in here, although we could make something work here. I'd have to clear out the grass. We'll see, because it is going to be a pain if I have to shuttle that pile and everything over here all the way to that pile. So we might, once we get some of that cleared back, we might make a pile here and just scratch off the grass. But I'm going to get started over there, and we'll see what works better. I did not remember to move the footage from the last 2 days to my computer, so my phone storage is almost full. So there's not going to be a whole lot of footage of today, but this will be a 2-day job. So I'm going to start clearing and get a good spot to put the phone to record, and I'll get you guys a progress update in a few hours. Alright, it is day 2. Time for a little progress update. I've got a little more storage this morning, so we should be able to get some more footage. So, I ended up just stacking everything up over here in the first little area that I cleared, because there's a pretty good opening in the tree canopy up there, and it was a lot faster than trying to shuttle it all over there. I realized pretty quickly that was going to take too long, and it makes a mess in what's existing yard. So I got, I'd say, just under 2/3 of this cleared yesterday. Got all this cleared back to there, and I got this whole little section over here cleared out. I'm hoping to have all of this down by about lunchtime. Probably start burning here in a couple hours. Once the sun hits this and has a chance to get some of the dew off of it, I might go ahead and start shuttling, or well, probably right before I light it, I'll go ahead and start shuttling some of that dry pile that's over there, just so we have something dry to light, because all this came down yesterday. I've been leaving all the bigger trees like they wanted. I wanted to get a little more done yesterday. I was planning to go till about 6:30 or 7. I ended up having to stop about 5:45 because I had a hydraulic fitting come loose on the machine. I actually had 2 come loose on the machine. Let's talk about that a little bit. So both of the fittings on this hose right here came loose yesterday. This one came loose first thing in the morning. It's still got a little bit of fluid on it right now, actually. And I was able to tighten that one down pretty easily. And then this one came loose, and I didn't have a big enough wrench for it, but the neighbor did. He let me borrow a pipe wrench. But those are both for the thumb, and I don't know if there's something wrong with this hose that's causing them to come loose, or that if it's operator error. I kind of lean towards operator error, because that same fitting came loose on that Takeuchi TB260 when I was clearing with it. But I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on that because I'm gonna be burning today, and I don't need the machine to catch fire. But I'll get you guys set up to record the rest of this clearing, at least till we get to burning. Alright, progress update. The machine is on the trailer. Not because the job is done. I've barely gotten anything done this morning. But because the hose over here, or the fitting, started leaking again. I figured it was just loose, so I went to the hardware store to get a big enough wrench because I didn't have one in the truck. Tried to tighten it down. It was tight. So now this machine's going back to the rental place to get swapped out for another one. When it's all said and done, that's probably about 2 hours of production lost. Yippee. Alright, so we got the new machine. It's got a different size, or different style hydraulic hose right here. Hopefully we won't have any problems with that one. Pulled some of that dry brush from that pile over here, so this should light up pretty easily. We're gonna get it burning, and we'll finish clearing all that and just stack it while it burns. Alright guys, here she is. We're done with this one. We got all the little brush down. The pile's almost gone. It is currently 7:20. Hoping it'll be out by about 8 o'clock. If I hadn't had all the hydraulic mishaps, I could have been out of here before 6. But that's all right. I'll just wait for this to burn down. It's not the cleanest finish in the world, and I really, this job would have been better to do with a skid steer and a brush mower and a root rake. And I offered that to the customer, and I said, look, this is gonna get you the cleanest finish, but it's gonna cost a little more because it costs a lot more to rent that specialty equipment. And they said they were fine with just having it done with an excavator, which was a little bit cheaper, and it doesn't leave as clean a finish, but they really just wanted it opened up to see what they had back here. So hopefully we'll be back in here some other time, dropping some bigger trees, root raking, grading, but we'll see. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for following along with the series this far, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.